Good evening and welcome to the second episode of the show that I named the Spit. That's right, Spitt. This is our second show. Today is 11/30/13, and just happy to be back with you to be able to have the opportunity to share some more basketball with you. Was fortunate enough today to go and see Dwayne Boo Boo Gibson, Evansville University play Ohio University. Didn't go exactly how we planned it, but got to see a former player of mine. Very proud of him, doing well, starting, playing a lot. Is going through, some of those freshman woes right now, and that's okay. But I know he'll be okay. And so was also privileged to see head coach Jim Christian for Ohio University. Jim Christian was a assistant coach at the University of Pittsburgh. When I was there, he's actually the coach that recruited me, so it was also great to see him as well. And so shout out to those guys at OU, the guys at Evansville. I enjoyed the game, and thank you very much. So today's topic is leadership. And I'm glad I went to the game today because I got to see someone that I know will one day be a great leader for Evansville University. And the thing that I want to talk about, with leadership is you have to be an example first, okay? You really have to be what you want everyone that's following you to be, right? You can't lead by your mouth. You can't lead by just words. You actually have to be a living example of what a leader is, okay? And what a leader embodies is someone who is willing to take the chances, someone who's willing to take the blame, and that's also the person that gets the glory at the end. But if you're not willing to take the negative portion of it, then you can't take the positive. It doesn't work that way. So, like I said last week, we were talking about the mental part of it and just having that mentality. And being a leader is a mentality because you have to lead at every single thing you do. You have to be first. You have to be on time. You have to be present. And what I mean by present is your presence has to be felt every single day and every single thing that you do. You have to set the standards. And if you want to accomplish a certain goal with this game, you have to set those standards high. Sometimes maybe unrealistic because I heard that if you shoot for the stars and you fall short, then you'll be amongst the clouds. And so that leader definitely has to set those goals high. I definitely have some goals for myself now as a coach. I have some goals for my basketball team right now. We open up our season on December the 6th. We play the Canton McKinley. And so I really expect us to go 27, 28, and 0. I expect perfection. But a part of that is our senior leaders will have to dictate that. So when it comes down to running sprints as a leader, you should be first. Leaders lead from the front, okay? Being coachable, okay? Understanding your position because they say that there's more to be caught than to be taught. So that means that people will do what they see you do before they hear anything that you want to say to them or teach them. So remember that. That's definitely a very important key. You have to lead by example. Okay, I'm going to give you two scenarios. The first scenario is I know of a point guard who's a sophomore in college. He's a wonderful basketball player. Think very highly of him, and I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this story with you. I won't say any names, but his team is struggling. They're struggling to get wins, and he's scoring points, and he's getting assists, he's getting rebounds. He's actually loading the stat sheet up. And so, but the thing that he's missing is he wants to get W's, okay, and they're struggling to do so. So Um, it's hard. It's very hard on the leader, but as the leader of that team, okay, he and I had a conversation about who should step up and who should step up when, okay? And I'm a firm believer that um, in order for your guys or your girls or whoever is following you, your team, as the leader, you should take the blame when your teammates are unsuccessful. What do I mean by that? Um, you should be the person to, if you have players who play at a certain level, okay, but you're the leader, you should be able to raise that level every single game, every single practice, off the court in the locker room, because of your words, because of your work ethic, right? You should be able to do that. You should be able to say, when they're not playing well, it's because I need to motivate them as a leader to get on track, to do better, right? To have confidence in their shot, to be able to do the things that they do well, right? And he actually said to me, you know what, you're right, and I'm going to start to work on that. And I believe that when he starts to take the blame for the lack of success of his teammates, he'll become better and his team will become better because he'll take that inner leader in him and be able to share that and spread that amongst his teammates. And then, therefore, their level of play will continue to increase. And from there, we'll probably see some W's, right? I have another individual who, point guard, great player. I know he's a leader, but his lack of success as a leader is kind of falling on the different end of it. Okay, I'll tell you what I mean by that. As good as a player as he is, he's struggling with finding that balance between when to go, when not to go, when to be aggressive, when not to be aggressive, when to look for when to look for his open teammates, or when to look for his own shot. And so that's the other end of leadership. And so he needs to increase his production. And then I truly believe that they will increase theirs because the more he becomes aggressive, the more confidence he will get. Once they see how confident he is, okay, that will increase their confidence. Once they see um, how aggressive he's being, how much of an attacker he's being, the more they're going to want to attack. Once they see how much more he's rebounding, the more they're going to want to rebound. And I know for a fact that he can get it done. I know for a fact that once he takes that responsibility on himself, okay, and it's okay to be selfish at times because he will be being selfish to give back to his team. So sometimes being selfish is okay. Um, and and so those are two different scenarios, but I really truly believe that that will change the outcome of both of those teams. So once again, we have one player who's already doing the scoring, already doing the assisting, already doing the rebounding. He just needs to get to a point where he takes the blame for a lack of their success and elevate their game. And from there, he'll be able to see more success in them, and they'll be able to see more success at the end of those games. And then on the other hand, you have a guy who's really just trying to fit in um, and really isn't aware of how much a leader he is. Once he gains that, and it's coming, then he'll be able to feed that to them, and they will have success as well. So, um, just to recap, leadership is about being the example. It's about the people that are following you, they're able to see exactly what they should be. Okay. And everybody is not a leader, and that's okay. Um, they, most people say that they want to be leaders. Most people think they're leaders. And those who are leaders, they stand out. And if you're not a leader, that's okay. as long as you follow the right leader. It's okay to be a follower. I'll say it again. It's okay to be a follower as long as you're following someone leading you towards success. And so on a basketball team, you'll know who that person is. It will be very evident. Um, they will do everything that everybody else does not want to do. I always prided myself on being a leader as a point guard. And so now that I'm a coach, it's a totally different level of leadership. And I just try to build that day by day by day by being an example of what I want my team to be. And so that's our time. Again, this is Mr. Jeremy Holmes signing off with the second episode of The Spit. Hope you watched the first one. If you didn't, catch it on YouTube, or you can catch it on my Facebook page. Just go to Jeremy Holmes is my channel, and it's called The Spit. You definitely check that out. And so I will see you on next Saturday. Have a good week.